This video is going to demonstrate how to create a It's Learning playlist from content in your existing instructional course. So my first step is to navigate to my instructional course. And when I'm in my instructional course, under plans is where I will have any content that my curriculum office has pushed out to me for curriculum. So this particular course is a physical education course, and you'll see that under plans, I have several units within my plans. My first step is going to be to navigate to the specific unit that I'm currently teaching. I could scroll down to that unit, but a nice shortcut is if I go to this pull down menu, I automatically see all the units within my planner. So right now my students are working on striking. So that is the unit that I am going to navigate to. And you'll see that within the striking unit, there are 10 days worth of content. So I am going to find the content that I will need to activate for my students. And right now my students are working on lesson 3, striking to a target. So my first step is going to be to add a date to this lesson so that it appears on the playlist for my students. So I'm going to click Add Date. The default is date and time, but my preference is to add just a date. So I'm going to toggle to the date radial, and I'm going to select the date or date range that I need this lesson to display for my students. So I may wish to give my students a little more time to complete this lesson. So I'm going to set a date range of January 5th to January 7th. That means on that date range, this content will be available to my students. My next step is I'm going to select the checkbox at the beginning of the lesson, and I'm going to go to Action, and I'm going to activate this content. You'll see that my content is still in italics, which means it's not going to be visible for my students. So my last step is just to make sure this content is visible for my students to see. I'm going to actually go into the resources folder, and I'm going to find the striking lesson, and I'm going to make this folder active for my students. I'm now going to view this as a student just to make sure that my students can see my playlist. So I'm going to toggle to Student View. And this shows that when my students come to my course, they will see Lesson 3 striking. And when they hit Start, this will navigate them through the content in the playlist to go through.